What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Yo, Who Hired You? My name is James, and this is...
Hello, everyone. My name is Hag.
And today, we're going to break down the new Netflix show, America's Team, the Dallas Cowboys.
From the 1990s.
Exactly. The only time they were good. So the reason we're doing that is, one, we're going to let you guys know if it's worth watching or not. And number two, there's a lot of important power dynamic and business lessons inside of this show that are important to break down and discuss, as they can relate to things that can help all of you. So grab your popcorn, lock in with us. We're about to go through it.
Oh, I like that. Grab your popcorn. That came from Terrell Owens. Yeah.
It's going to be a long show. All right, Hag, let's do it. Let's unpack this. Netflix has dropped all the episodes for America's Team.
Okay.
It's a documentary about the Dallas Cowboys. I thought, as a New York Giant, lifelong New York Giant fan, that I was going to hate this, and this is just something I have on in the background while I'm like working out.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually enjoyed this.
Yeah, there's a little nostalgia that goes into that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think it was really interesting because I was like 10, 11 years old or something like that when they started, with this whole run in the 90s. So like I was aware. I used to watch the Dallas Cowboys because they were like the show, like at the time in the NFL.
I mean, I was just excited that they showed the 1993 home game
Against the Giants.
against the Giants because like that ruined my Christmas. I hated Emmitt Smith ever since then. I've been dying to tell them, to his face that I hate him. But yeah, I wanted to make sure that ended up in there.
Yeah. And listen, I thought it was extremely well done. I like the fact that Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson were both in it. Mm-hmm. They're old as dirt, right? They look like they were both on respirators. Like Jerry Jones especially. Jerry Jones looked like Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars or something. Like he's like barely hanging on. And then Jimmy he didn't look that bad.
He looked all right. He's been on TV. He's been doing his thing.
Jimmy looked all right. Jerry definitely looked a little struggly. But it was good that they were both in it.
Yeah.
And they were both giving their true feelings about each other because they did not hold back talking shit about each other.
I mean, it's fair. At least they were being honest.
Yeah, I respect honesty.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you think, Hag? Is this worth something? Is this something you would watch? Is this something you recommend to our viewers, and why?
I would recommend to watch it because it goes back until, the 80s and the 90s, gives a good perspective of how football and how things were kind of back then. So I feel like that's a good thing to watch. Yeah, absolutely.
If you're not a football fan, would you still find this entertaining, or would this like be something you'd zone out?
No, I think you could still watch it as if you're not a football fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know what's other.
Because there's good storylines behind what's going on, like you said, with the power dynamics, and then you got the players doing crazy things like, off the field, right? So like there's good stories here.
The White House.
Yeah, and there's stars. There's like, actual stars that go into this as well.
Don't kind of brush over the White House. Do you remember the White House?
Yeah. They were just trying to basically do like the right thing, like the wrong thing the right way,
Yes.
So
lessons in all of that, all kind of lessons all over the place. So yeah, even if you're not a football fan or you're a casual football fan, super entertaining. It's good to see. You know what? A lot of our generation doesn't really know Deion Sanders. Like they know his kids now. They know Shador.
Right.
They know Shiloh and all that. But Shiloh. I'm sorry, Shiloh. But they don't necessarily know their pop, who was a beast. He was a demon out there in baseball and in football. And I think if you don't really know, it reminded me of The Last Dance. How like a lot of kids in this generation know Jordan the name,
but not the player.
And the impact that he had. Like people forget Deion was a rapper. Deion was Atlanta Braves, he's
on the Yankees before that.
Like he was a star too. He wasn't like a scrub. Like he was teetering on that like Bo Jackson level of success in baseball and football. And for those of you who don't know and have
I
to
don't
do
want to say it's Bo Jackson, but yeah.
But I'm talking
it's a good comparison. Sure, we can.
Yeah, so for those of you, because it doesn't happen anymore.
No.
Right? You don't have football players that also play baseball at a high level in a professional realm.
Well, if they do, they're going to choose one. Like Kyler Murray, he played baseball, football.
Yeah,
I think he was like the first pick in both those drafts. You got to choose one, I guess, now. Can't do both.
What was the other guy? Wasn't Mahomes a pitcher?
Yeah, his dad was. And
Yeah.
you got Rusty Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was another one.
Russell
Yeah.
Wilson. Yeah. He was
No,
a pitcher.
there's other athletes out there that can definitely do it. I feel like they probably choose not to.
But again, these are savages from the 90s, Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders.
And plus, they weren't making the same kind of money that they're making now, so they're maybe not incentivized in the same way.
Imagine
well.
imagine a guy like Deion today making Otani money in baseball and then going to the NFL and making like prime time cash. Like that
Bo
guy
Jackson could have done that. I don't think Deion, he could have done it in one. I don't think he could have done it in both.
you don't
Because
think,
he wasn't like the best player in baseball,
but he was
but he
above
was one of the
average,
best players in football.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. He was a generational talent, game changer. So look, if you're not familiar with prime time, do your Googles. He was a beast. He was a cultural phenomenon. You know, he was running around in the drop top Benz with all the chains on, with the suit with no
Yep.
shirt. Like, he was a beast, and he definitely changed the game
Walked it like you talked.
forever. And you couldn't throw to his side. Forget if you didn't like the guy. Forget if you thought he was whatever. You could not throw the ball on that side of the field.
Nope.
And then when they started putting him on kick returns and punt returns, Lord Jesus, you better hope that y'all got there, the special teams crew got there in time, because if not, he was out and he was dancing all the way down to the end zone.
Absolutely.
It's all right. So we talked a little bit there, set it all up. So if you're a big football fan, if you're not, it's entertaining. There's a lot of good characters. So yeah, tune in, watch it. We both give it a thumbs up. Definitely doesn't get a bozo from us. All right. So let's get into it. What are some of the lessons, Hag, that you took away while watching America's Team?
Sure. We'll start with the timeline. In the beginning, Jerry, he was a quote-unquote gambler, very good at borrowing money from people and places. Backed that, got lucky with the oil and all that stuff, and then he went out and bought the Cowboys. And the first thing that he did, came in, cleaned house. Got rid of the legendary coach,
Tom Landry.
which nobody was a fan of. Got rid of everybody that was associated with them. And he's like, there's a new sheriff in town. I'm the owner. Everybody's gone. I want to start over.
But hold on. Let's not glance over the fact that even though Tom Landry was already old and washed, he was Tom Landry.
True. He had the hat and won a bunch of Super Bowls. Like, he was extremely successful. And this was less than, 5 years from when they were in the last, NFC championship. So
Iconic.
He definitely was an iconic coach.
Iconic coach, right? Like legend. It's like
Where did Landry come from?
New
York Giants.
Green Bay or something. Oh, it's the Giants? Oh, okay. It's before
No
my
big
time.
deal.
It's before
But
my
anyway, we won't get into that. But
this
yeah.
guy. He gonna sneak it in there,
Yeah.
y'all. He gonna definitely
Yeah.
sneak it in there.
So in any case, right? So you have the legendary coach, and if we put this in business perspective, that'd be like one of us going into a new organization and just be like, all right, everybody's out.
No. Let's really put it in perspective. This is the equivalent. This is the equivalent of somebody walking into like Facebook and saying, "Hey, Mark Zuckerberg, grab your stuff and get out."
This is like Ari Gold walking through an entourage and just be like, I'm here and everyone's fired.
And paintballing
And just
water
paintballing
gunning
everybody.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what that is.
But the iconic status of Tom Landry is like, again, it's like the equivalent of walking in and firing Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg, or walking into Nike and telling Phil Knight, beat it. Like, these are legendary CEOs, iconic businessmen, like industry titans. And Jerry Jones was like, yeah, I own this now. Beat it. Do it
That's
my
a good
way.
point. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Do this
Yeah.
my way. Better or worse is my way now. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
So it takes balls.
Yeah. Is that like Elon at Twitter renaming it? Something along those lines and firing everybody.
It's literally like Elon taking it from Jack Dorsey and saying, "Hey, Jack Dorsey, get out of here." He remember when he came in with the kitchen sink?
Yeah.
Like, we're taking everything but the
There you go.
kitchen sink.
Yeah. There you go. That's
Yes.
that's what it's like.
Yes. So this was a seismic shift, and this was something that people hate Jerry Jones. And me as a Giant fan, I hate him too, but for a different reason, right? You gotta respect the fact that the man bet on himself as an entrepreneur, because that's what he is. He's an entrepreneur. He bet on himself. He elevated his family with him because he had a lot of his.
He did.
his
He took
family.
everybody
He
with
took
him. It's like
everybody
similar
with him.
to the buses, right?
Yep. And he said, "This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna double down on this team, and we're gonna transform football." Because his goal was the Cowboys, but he did have a bigger vision of like the league. Like
He did.
He knew how to be a salesman, and he knew what was gonna be entertaining. And I think
he's like a modern day Wellington Mara, the old.
he's like
owner.
a Dana White.
He's like Wellington Mara, former New York Giants owner.
This guy.
Yeah.
He's like Dana White.
Okay. In today's
thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
People are gonna be like, "What? Who? What?
Who?
What? The mayor of what?"
Wellington Mara's name is on the football, but no big deal. But anyway, we'll keep going.
All right. So just to kind of point out that love him or hate him, the guy had balls. He bet on himself. He put on his own family, broke all the rules, and was successful.
Yes.
And I rock with
because of the coach. I'm kidding.
That he went and got.
That he went and got.
That nobody else was going to give an opportunity to.
Yeah. But let's talk about the fact that he went and got the coach, and they were at a diner right? They went to the diner for food and all that, and it just happened to be Landry's favorite restaurant or something like that. And he was like, "Oh, I didn't know." Like, I find that hard to believe because he said that he had been there before.
Yeah.
Somebody had to have told him.
It was a shitty move. He did that on purpose. He did it on purpose, and he tried to save.
He tried to play it off.
He tried to play it off.
So is he a believable, person?
See, but this is what I see when it comes to Jerry Jones is he always had a WWE element to him. Like he knew that what he was doing was theater. Like, yo, I'm gonna be the bad guy. I'm gonna fire the iconic coach. I'm gonna go secretly bring this guy, Jimmy Johnson, in that, was over at the Miami University. Was it Miami University?
Miami, yeah.
So I'm gonna bring this guy in here, and then we're gonna have a private, quiet dinner at a little place I know, that nobody has ever heard of. Meanwhile, it's Tom Landry's favorite restaurant. Right after you're firing Tom Landry. So he knew what he was doing. And it's theater, but look what it did. It got all the newspapers, all the sports publications,
the videos
talking about what?
Yeah, talking about Tom Landry and the fact that there's a new coach and Jerry Jones and all that good stuff.
And the Dallas Cowboys, he got them into the news cycle again. And I think what I honestly didn't know, because again, I was really young for this time, was that the NFL wasn't popular. Like the NFL was looked at something like some kind of hobby, it's cool, but it didn't have the endorsements that it has today.
Yeah, but so was the NBA at the time.
True, very true.
The only one I think that was doing well was probably baseball.
Yeah,
because that was America's pastime.
America's pastime.
Yeah.
I did the math on that one day, right?
Okay.
Because I was like, how did baseball go from like the most popular sport in America, America's pastime, to something that people like? You got to really be a legacy fan to like stay with the sport at this point, right?
This is what happened.
Yes, exactly my point.
Yeah.
So back then, when there were less things stealing your attention, you could go for 4 hours, 3 hours, and kill a whole day at a ballpark. It was cheap.
Great.
Yeah, you get a hot dog, get a beer.
Get a free bat, you get a free hat or something.
You spend the day out getting drunk, twisted, watching the baseball.
Go to the South Bronx and see everybody trying to kill each other outside fighting.
Yeah.
It was great.
And then you know what happens? Now you got the NFL. Now you got the NBA. Now you got social media.
I think also fantasy football probably had a lot to do with this too, with the NFL getting a lot more popular.
And it's easier to bet on those other sports, I think, than it is with baseball.
Yeah. And the gambling aspect, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because the score is different. Like the percentages, I think, on how players perform is calculated a little bit easier in the other sports.
Those are great points.
So anyway, I did the math. America's pastime was when there was nothing else that's distracting you and taking your attention. You got a Saturday when you're not working, a Sunday, your dad just finished working in a coal mine. He'd take you to a baseball game, and you sit there all day and get drunk for like 3 cents and you buy a hot dog. Like
Mickey Mantle going to pay your rent?
Yeah. Legend. Y'all don't even know where that quote is from.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry. Let's get back.
So we'll go back to this, right? So like the next thing is we have the new coach that came from the U that you had mentioned, but I also need to include the fact that it wasn't the U until Jimmy Johnson got there. So keep that in mind when we're talking about the Cowboys a little bit later on. So now we have the new coach who, in terms of leadership, is an autocratic leader, right? Is just do what I say. There's nothing, not up for discussion, right?
So isn't that more of like a dictator?
A little bit, but I mean, we went over the leadership styles, before. But that's
for those of them who haven't seen the episode.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's basically it's similar to a dictatorship.
Okay.
Absolutely. So he basically wanted to just everything his way. It's like we like to say, right? The boomer approach is a very boomer approach because he even says a lot of the things that we did back then you can't do now. Just doesn't happen.
But he was wilding though because they be in practice doing 100%. Like they're playing like what was crazy is what I was watching when Troy Aikman was back there taking snaps in practice and he got hurt.
Yeah.
He like injured his wrist because they were doing full speed. They didn't have none of that. The quarterback wears a red jersey and don't get hit.
Nope.
No, like they were hitting Troy.
Go time. Yeah, it was go time.
I'm like, that's Troy Aikman. What are you guys doing? And I'm like, yo, he's hurt. Look at him. He's over there with a banged up wrist now. Like
they're like, he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Yeah, throw some dirt on it. You'll be all right.
You'll be okay. All right. So he basically wanted to push people's limits, and he ruled by fear, and that's just how it was. He didn't care.
But you needed that. Probably to get that team on track
because they were so bad for the past 5 years and they won one game.
Yeah. So that probably informs when you're in a bad org. Like if your job is struggling, like you guys are a hot mess and a new team comes in or a new manager comes in, he's probably not going to be like the most,
no.
Guys, don't worry. Like, no, it's going to be like, all right, we got to turn this around. Like, we're in dire straits. Like, get it together. This, that, blah, you're fired. Like, it's going to be some of that. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like you and I in some former past experiences, we went through this.
Yeah, I mean, look, sometimes you got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to do it. So, like, for instance, a great example in this Cowboys thing, right? Mm-hmm. When Jimmy Johnson was coming in with this approach, it was hard because a lot of the pros were used to doing the bare minimum under Tom Landry. They're like, we're pros. Like you can't scream at us. We're already making millions of dollars. Like you can't yell at me and motivate me through that, right?
Okay.
So he comes in and he's like, I'm gonna do that, and I don't care what you say because my end goal is success. I want to win.
True.
He fired a guy. He cut a guy on the field.
He did.
He literally cut a guy for like, what was he, tired? Or
he had asthma.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you got asthma? Go have asthma over there in the parking lot. You're cut. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Today, that will be all over ESPN. He would be in sensitivity training. There'd be people outside would picket things. Asthma rights for fucking football players.
Right. But you also had certain key players that were okay with that. Like Michael Irvin was like, yeah, get these. We're not going to get to where we need to go.
But he came from that because they played together in Miami.
So this is why a lot of times when you have new leadership that comes in, they want to bring in some of their people in order to get the train going.
Yeah, because those people that are going to come in now, they're going to understand what it takes to be successful. Mm-hmm. You might be on a bozo team, and y'all all might be bozos and don't know that y'all bozos.
You have no idea.
I have no idea that y'all bozos.
Yeah.
So somebody's going to come with an outside perspective and be like, yo, y'all are some bozos. Like, yo, you know what? We got to shake this whole thing up. I got to go get a couple of my mans. We're going to come in here, and we're going to turn this all around. So then my people that I'm bringing with me are going to help you guys buy into not being bozos anymore. That's if you don't buy in, pobrecito. Now the leg, eh?
Yeah.
You're getting cut. You're getting out of here. We're going to throw you out. We're going to just...
But it's interesting how you could take the sports perspective and bring this into the, corporate America perspective as well.
Yeah, and this is why we're breaking this down because we think it just relates perfectly to stuff that could happen at work and the power dynamics that you encounter. But what I was gonna say also was like how people were pushing back on the Jerry thing when they started winning.
Yep.
Then everybody
was okay. Nobody cares.
Everybody was like, "Oh man, this is great." But then and I don't want to skip too far ahead, but when Jerry leaves, when Jimmy leaves, and they bring in Barry Switzer, right? Switzer to be the coach, his approach is totally different.
It was. We'll get into that.
But wait, because it was already built.
Yeah.
So he didn't have to be that guy like how Jimmy Johnson was.
No, he didn't.
He's like, you know what, guys? You guys are adults.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to delegate. I'm going to empower.
But he also already had that reputation where he was coaching before of just letting stuff go.
So anyway, it was interesting to see the power dynamics and the different approaches. And at the end, they both resulted in success, but for different reasons. Like if Barry was the original coach and he takes that
probably
approach,
wouldn't have worked.
Probably wouldn't work. But because they kind of weeded out all the bozos and losers, and they developed a winning culture, now a new leader can come in and keep that thing.
You can keep it afloat for about a year or two before it goes away.
All right, we'll get into that conversation.
Yeah,
in a minute,
we will,
but
for sure.
Let's keep pushing through this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think people respected about that approach that Jimmy Johnson like instituted?
Because like it's winning or nothing else. So there's no excuses. It's full ownership of your play, your actions, and everything like that.
Yeah, and listen, even Troy Aikman was shaking in his boots because remember he got hurt. And then the backup comes in. I forget the backup's name.
Berline?
Berline, yeah. Berline comes in and starts balling for like 6 games straight. They go on a winning streak, right? And then they end up going to the playoffs. So Troy Aikman, the GOAT, one of the GOATs of the NFL. Hate to say it because I'm a Giant fan, but he's a GOAT.
Okay.
Right? Troy Aikman was the guy. He's there shaking in his boots because he's like, Jimmy is going to follow results. So even though I'm his guy, if this guy is balling, I got to sit down with a clipboard and have the headphone and be the guy like, good job, everybody. Like,
it could have been Tom Brady, right? Steve Berline, but it didn't happen.
So it just goes to show that like when you have a leader that is results driven and will hold you accountable, it'll change things. Everybody's attitude, even your high performing star player on your team now has to like
fall in line
and have some self-reflection.
Yeah, absolutely.
So can't live on legacy, right?
Not only for so long.
For so long, yeah.
But they went on. They go basically from worst to first.
It took what, 2 years?
A couple years, yeah.
2 years.
About 3 years before they eventually won. It took some time. They had to get the right people in there, but they also made some good decisions along the way in terms of personnel, other business decisions as well that we'll get into here shortly.
Those are great. Listen, I think what shouldn't get lost on people when you watch this is that the legacy part of like what did you do in the past or what you're capable of is great. That's fantastic. But it's about where we're going next. Right? So like even if with the coach, even with some of the players that were beloved and iconic figures, hey man, you don't represent where we're going next. So you could get out.
Yeah. People have short memories with that stuff as well, if you think about it, because in some of the past experiences that you and I have had before, it's like you're only as good as your last win or whatever it is that you want to call it. I'm not going to say exactly, but you know, that's usually what's said. Like nobody cares. Like once that happened, everybody moves on to the next thing. Like we're not living in the past. We're on to the next thing, right? Winning cures everything essentially. But if you start to have a couple losses and you start losing, it's like, I don't know if these are the right people to lead this team any further. And they're not going to go back and look at all your wins from before. They want to talk about it right now.
It's now and it's the future. Right? And like, thank you for getting us this far and thank you for those great wins in the past, but you're not gonna fit for what's coming next.
Right. And
it's a cold world, man. It's a cold world. Look at Tom Thibodeau.
Yep. Same situation.
Same situation, man. Like it happens, man. You could be very successful. You can have legacy. You can have all these great things attached to you. But if you don't match where the organization is going next, you could be out of here. Or in the case of the Cowboys, if you can't find a way to coexist with ownership or senior leadership, it don't matter what you do, bro. Like this guy literally took the Dallas Cowboys from the joke of the NFL to 2 Super Bowls, back-to-back Super Bowls, right?
That's right.
Won and still got fired.
No. He didn't get fired. So we'll talk about
All right,
let's talk about the power dynamics
the
here
power dynamic.
because
he got fired.
he didn't get fired because he said that we mutually agreed to part ways, which means that he wasn't fired. He's like, I'm going to resign, but we agree to this.
Yo, he got fired, bro. That's
he didn't get fired.
That's political corporate talk for yo. I don't want to say I fired you because it's gonna be bad for me if I say I fired you. I don't want to hurt you on the way out.
Because he couldn't fire him because he just went and had back-to-back Super Bowls. You can't fire someone after that. You just can't.
But he did.
He didn't. He said they both sat down and said, we mutually agree to part ways.
Okay, so you guys out there, if your boss calls you into the office and says, hey, sign this agreement for us to mutually separate ways, you're fired.
No.
You're fired. And if you don't sign the paper, what happens?
Well, he couldn't fire him because he can get sued.
If you don't sign the paper, what happens?
Let's
take it to corporate. Let's take it to corporate. If you call somebody in office and you want to get rid of them and you say, here's a mutual separation agreement, and they don't want to sign the agreement, they're like, I don't want to separate. What do you mean mutual benefit? I don't agree to this. And
but there's usually some type of compensation that goes in with that.
But they don't want it.
Okay. Then you're going to court.
But am I fired?
You're not for you. Yeah, maybe.
Got him.
I don't know if you're fired.
Got him. All right, so I can show up to work the next day like nothing happened?
I mean, maybe.
Can I go back to my desk?
Probably not.
I'm fired.
Yeah.
This is corporate ease, bro. That's all that is. When people say, like in Jerry Jones' situation, hey, we came to a mutual agreement to part ways. No, we didn't. Jimmy Johnson did not want to leave a winning team that he built.
He even said he was out. He's like, I was done there. I'm good.
He was done there because he couldn't get along with Jerry because Jerry wanted more visibility, his ego.
Yeah, he was very ego driven.
Yes, he wanted. He's like, this is my money.
And where did I get him?
These are all the power moves
billions.
that I've done and I'm backing. I want to be in the forefront. I want to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
I want to be in all the videos.
I want to be in the front of the video next to the rapper dancing, doing ad-libs. Like, so, all right. Okay, so they mutually decided to part ways. We'll agree to disagree on what happens there. Okay.
But you see the power struggle?
Yes.
We mutually agree.
Oh.
He didn't give him the satisfaction of saying you're fired.
Okay. But,
so, like, who gets the win there?
Jerry. Because he wanted him gone. He got him gone.
I know, but he didn't get to fire him. They mutually agreed.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. So but leading up to that to that mutual separation.
Okay.
Do you remember the signs that the end was coming? Do you remember them?
What are the signs?
They were doing a toast. Do you remember the toast?
Yep.
And it was probably like a movie, bro. Like, dude was toasting and he looked around the room and he saw that he wasn't partaking in the toast. He was like sitting. Everybody else was standing and sharing their cups, and dude was just sitting there like.
Yep.
It was like that scene in The Sopranos where Tony was telling a joke that wasn't even funny on purpose.
Oh, Feature Lamont.
And everybody was dying laughing, and the one OG Italian dude was just sitting there like,
that's not funny.
So he was like, I got to get rid of him because he's not going to fall in line. It's exactly the same thing.
That's fair.
So he saw like, oh, he's not going to toast to me?
Yeah, he even said it himself. He said they stopped communicating like they used to. So the communication, they stopped talking. They're not hanging out like they were prior. So it's like starts and it just slowly starts to trickle down.
And then there was like a dinner or something that one of them didn't go to, and it was like it was a big deal. So like these are the warning signs, man. So if like you're like this with your boss or the owner of the company or your direct senior leadership, and all of a sudden you ain't getting invited to the golf outing and the after work drinks or the dinners or whatever.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Got to fix that. Gotta fix it. Gotta fix it.
Gotta change your approach.
Gotta change the approach. Gotta fix it. Because look, if Jerry and Jimmy really wanted to make it work, they could have made it work, and they probably would have had a dynasty even way beyond what they already had, because they had an amazing core.
They did.
And they probably would have won another year guaranteed if they don't do that whole shakeup with the coach and all that happened. So they probably win 4 Super Bowls.
It's possible.
Maybe not back to back, but
They could have been the opposite of the Bills.
yeah, they could have went 4 years in a row and won 4 Super Bowls.
It's possible.
Which was crazy that the Bills went to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row and lost. The greatest losers of all time. Anyway, so know the warning signs of this type of thing and know the things that you shouldn't do. Hey, if your boss is toasting, 1,000 years of success, boss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, your boss tells a joke, maybe it's not the funniest. Be like,
you're a funny guy.
you're crazy, bro. You're crazy.
Yeah.
Play along, stupid. You want a job? You want money? You want influence? Learn how to play the game.
Want to get to the next thing that you're trying to accomplish? It has to happen.
This is all a game. This is all a game. And if you can't make people with influence and power comfortable around you,
see you later.
what are you doing? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? So anyway, so very lessons in all of this. And what do you think was Jimmy's and Jerry's ultimate disagreement, though?
Credit.
I
think that's what it boils down to. Who gets the credit for building this? Is it the owner or is it the coach? What do you think?
I mean, I'm team owner.
Yeah, I'm team Jimmy.
Because I think that...
I'm team coach.
I hear you. I'm team owner because the owner has to bring in the coach.
It's true.
So if I make a big mistake and bring in the wrong coach, then we never get it together. So you got to trust my judgment, my leadership, and my risk-taking ability to make things happen.
That's fair. It's definitely fair.
Now, where I do agree with you, though, is when you bring a good leader in, you got to let them take the credit for the work that they are doing. Right. So if they are coming in and they're the ones putting the process and building the culture and holding people accountable, and because of that, this whole thing turns around and now we won 3 Super Bowls. I got to sit back and be like, "Here, you hold the trophy." Did you see that awkward ass picture they had or video?
You could tell like when Jerry took the trophy from him, like he looked at him sideways. He did not like that. He's like, "That's mine."
You could see.
You could see it.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah. I saw it.
So there's a moment in the in the documentary. I think it's the first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Where they're holding the trophy, the Lombardi.
No,
right?
I think it's the second one.
All right. So
yeah.
they're holding the Lombardi.
They already had the bad juju going on.
And they hand it to Jerry Jones, and he's
they handed it to Jimmy. They handed it to
and he pulls it from him.
Yeah,
and I think Jimmy looks at him. And
he was not happy at all.
And you can tell he wanted to reach back for it, but
he's like, boom.
I was like, ooh,
yeah.
You got to be able to read body language, and you got to be able to see power dynamics happening in real time, and that was telling.
Yeah, you can go back and you watch it now, and you're like, wow. Now you definitely see it.
Yeah. Listen.
Yeah. But I also think with the issue that I have so much with Jerry Jones in terms of his leadership is that when it's bad, it's his fault. So you have to fall on the sword. But then when they're winning, you need to give the people that got you there the credit. Like, that's why I would go with the coach.
Agreed. I don't think Jerry Jones is the greatest owner, operational guy. I think listen, you got to give the guy respect because again, I look at not just what he did as an owner, but what he did as a businessman with the NFL.
Yeah.
Like the whole part with Fox and Rupert Murdoch, like people look at Fox now and see it as this big giant conglomerate empire. I remember when Fox launched. I remember the very first time Fox came on TV, and it was like they just had The Simpsons.
Well, they had that and Married with Children.
Married with Children. That's it. That was like the only shows that they had, and everything else was just like reruns of like I Love Lucy and.
Because there's only like 2, 4, like 7, and 11 or something like that, and like 9 and like 13.
Yeah. And 9 was like the bootleg reruns and stuff.
And 3 was so you can get your Nintendo.
Facts. The UHF channel. Yeah. So. His vision and him knowing like we've got to create a spectacle, we've got to make this entertaining, we've got to let the characters be big so that they themselves become brands, and then like we can capitalize on all of it, and how to bring in the brands to the individual teams. Like that thing with Nike being the exclusive merch provider for the Cowboys was genius.
Absolutely.
And think
Yeah,
of
you can give him credit for all the business decisions. Absolutely. Football decisions,
again.
Yeah.
I think his best football decision was putting the right people in position. Because even with Jerry Jones and with Barry, they both were successful. They both won. They both did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, but he also he went with who he knew. And going back to business, that's usually how these things work. People stick with people they know.
Yes. And look, what I liked about that whole organization, in retrospect, looking at this documentary, is they were ballsy.
Yeah.
Like, they were really ballsy. Like, they but they traded Herschel Walker for 5 scrubs. And then took those 5 scrubs, released them, and used them for draft picks.
Yeah, they needed some capital.
Genius.
Yeah, but also credit to Jimmy, because he's the one that invented in the NFL draft the scale matrix with the value of the picks. Jerry didn't do that.
Listen,
and they've been using that for years. I don't know if they use it as much, but that revolutionized the way that the draft was done.
Yeah, all the way around, a very innovative organization and group of people. It's dope. That's what I'm saying. If you're watching this documentary, it's definitely a lot of gems in here that you can extract and use in business, in your job, in
strategy.
Your strategy. There's a lot of great stories in here, right?
And things not to do, like the White House.
The White House. Well, like you said, they were trying to do the wrong thing the right way.
Yep.
So in the documentary, well, first, before we get to the White House, we got to lead up to the culture that enabled.
So now we'll talk about Jerry's leadership, which, to his credit, the next day he hired the next guy, so he didn't panic at all.
Yeah, and
no
again,
panic.
He knew. I think he already knew.
Like, he knew what he was doing. He had a plan. He knew he wasn't going to be there.
Exactly. He did the opposite of what the Knicks did.
Yep.
So when the Knicks fired Tibbs, they had no plan. They're scrambling. Jerry Jones was like, "I'm going to fire Jimmy Johnson, make all the headlines, and then I'm going to go get Barry, who I already know got smoke with Jimmy too.
Yeah.
And there's a deep-seated kind of rivalry happening. I'm going to give him the job." And he put that quote out that said, there's 500 other coaches in the NFL that could do this job and win a Super Bowl. Literally discrediting all the hard work that Jimmy Johnson
I would have been like, yeah, I would agree, because I did such a great job that you can bring anybody in here. You're welcome.
And built it up for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And again,
we'll see how long it lasts, though, because it's going to run itself for only so long before you need the right people in place for it to keep going. And I would also say, what have they done since he left? They haven't had the same level of success on the football field. Maybe business-wise, they've been outstanding. Yes, and that's credit to Jerry. However, he's still chasing what he had 30 years ago.
They did win a Super Bowl after he left. Just want to correct it.
But they were still his players. But so he did such a great job.
But he wasn't there.
He wasn't there.
And they could have easily just fell off the face of the earth.
They could have, but there was too much talent. That wasn't happening.
They lost the following year.
Jerry wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
He wasn't wrong, but the success wasn't sustained.
See, but I think what Jerry Jones was trying to say is that when you build a machine and the machine hits its groove and now it's going, as long as you keep in the machine well maintained and well oiled, it's gonna keep running. Like the show don't stop. I guess what he's trying to say was the show don't stop with Jimmy Johnson.
Okay.
And he wasn't wrong. I just think that Jerry's downfall was his ego. Right? Like he let his ego get too in the way of everything. And so some other owners, right? Like again, I'm a Knicks fan. Same thing with Dolan. For too many years, Dolan was getting involved and he was meddling and it was just messing everything up.
Same thing with the Yankees with Steinbrenner back in the day, right?
People didn't want to go there because they didn't want to deal with Steinbrenner as far as the coaches I'm talking about, right? The managers. Same thing with the Knicks. Good coaches didn't want to go to the Knicks because they're like, this guy's just going to overrule me. He's going to do whatever he wants, and I'm just going to be here a puppet, and I don't want to waste my time here.
Right.
And I think people probably felt the same way about Jerry and the Cowboys. Like,
he should have listened to his wife. Just enjoy it.
Sit back.
What's wrong with you?
Smell the flowers. Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go. You know? Let it. It's a well-oiled
That's
machine.
That's why it's ego.
Yeah, 100% ego.
Yeah.
100% ego.
Yeah.
All right. So let's keep going. We talked about it. let's say, all right, so Jerry's out now. I mean, Jimmy's out. Jimmy's out.
Jimmy's out.
Jimmy's out. He's got the boot. You bring Barry in. New leader, winning organization. Everybody's freaked out. There's people that had loyalties to the previous coach, previous manager at a job. This guy helped me, from become something of myself, gave me confidence, whatever, right? I'm loyal to that guy, but he's gone now.
Yep.
New guy comes in. Totally new approach. Instead of
not even new approach, it's the opposite of what they've been experiencing for the past 3 or 4 years.
So that's a new approach, isn't it?
Well, it could be kind of new, but it's like way left. It's way right. It's so not even close.
So instead of going crazy at practice, people throwing up, having asthma attacks,
and being told get out of here,
getting cut, and all of that, Barry's like, yo, listen, you guys look hungover. Go hit the pool, guys.
Yeah.
Go to the pool.
You guys want to party again tomorrow? Just go party. Don't worry about it.
You guys are grown men. You know what you're supposed to do. You know what it tastes like to win. You want to keep winning. You know what you need to do.
Yeah, I'm not going to micromanage you.
That's it.
I don't need those TPS reports every day. I don't have 8 managers asking me the same question 8 different times,
You know what you're supposed to do? Do it. Let me know if you need my help, but go fly, little birds.
Do you want to go to the White House? Go to the White House.
Yeah, so that type of leadership developed the culture of the White House.
Yes.
So you got Michael Irving, notorious party animal, right? Cocaine is a hell of a drug. You got Emmitt Smith, who I don't know if he was a super.
Nah, he didn't take in. Nah, he didn't take into it. Yeah.
It was really Charles Haley. It was
like the offensive linemen,
Michael Irving, some of the linemen, people on the defense.
Yeah,
those guys. There was no Troy Aikman in the documentary.
But it was the key point is that it's all they're stars.
It's the star players.
Yeah, it's not the third string.
Yeah. So what's happening is these superstars are just off the rails, right? And one of them even got really injured in a drunk driving accident. They talk about it in the documentary. It was actually pretty interesting, and they talk about how they were spending so much money in hotels and in hookers and in cocaine and in alcohol that Michael Irving said, "I'm gonna buy a house behind our training facility. We could hop the fence and walk into the backyard of this house I'm gonna buy." Right? And that's gonna be the team party house. Yep. So he said you could walk in there and you'll find some chicks having sex in the living room, some people upstairs having sex, some people over here doing drugs, some people over here listening to music, some people whatever. But this was the team playhouse, and they called it the White House. Yep. Right? So this culture starts permeating. So you got all your top talent now that's unfocused.
They probably felt free. They're like, oh, this guy's God. We could party. We could do whatever we want.
And they were feeling themselves.
Yeah, they had to.
They were riding the high of success and the high of the spoils that come with it, right? So you're getting high, you got women, you're getting drunk, you got toys, you got money, all the top of the world, right? Some of these guys
you're young.
Yeah, Dion gets introduced into this later on, like crazy animals, right? Like savages. So this starts happening, and they lose that first year.
Yep.
Right after Jerry.
See, everybody can't do it.
But it's also because I think that the team wasn't as focused.
They weren't motivated.
There was low morale because some of them still were loyal to Jimmy Johnson. There was some of them that just started partying and indulged into that lifestyle, and they just weren't focused. And then they had one bad call in that San Francisco game.
Listen,
I'm calling it how it is. It was a bad call. It was pass interference. They should have got the call.
You can't.
They should have got the call.
Can't rely on the refs to win you the game. That
call happens. They probably go to another Super Bowl. Whether they win or not, debatable. But they probably go to another Super Bowl. Anyway,
there's a million games like that.
True, and this is one of them. All right. So they lose that year.
Yep.
Now they're stinging. They're licking their wounds. They got to humble themselves. The 49ers beat them and then go to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl with Steve Young and Jerry Rice and that whole entourage, right?
Whatever.
They come back next year, still partying, still on whatever, but they have a renewed focus to win, right? Like sometimes you got to lose to reignite your passion to win. So that's kind of what.
That's true.
What they went through, but it doesn't look like it didn't look like Barry changed his style all that much, or even at all.
No.
But the team,
they policed themselves essentially.
had to like get their stuff
They started
together.
holding each other a little bit more accountable and
Yep.
things like that, right? So, all right, James. So we just talked all about Barry, Jimmy, Jerry. Hang on a second.
Jimmy, Jerry, Jones,
Slimmy,
Johnson, Barry, Sanders, Dion.
Slimmy, Swimmy, Swanson, Samsonite. No, I was way off.
Yeah. But yes, we talked about all of it so far as like the politics and the power dynamics. Yes, we did it.
All right, so now let's talk about the Fox revolutionary deal that Jerry helped put together.
Yes. So for me, the most important part is the fact that this probably doesn't happen without Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones was part of an ownership conglomerate inside the NFL, right? There's like almost like a union of owners, right? Like, and they are the ones who steer the direction of the league.
So he was like the Gen Zer of the time against the boomers.
Which is crazy to say because Jerry Jones is old as dirt. But yes, he was the innovative thinker in an old thinking organization. And he knew that they weren't going to just rock with him. He knew it. He's like, these boomers are not going to get it, right?
We need the advertising. We need the merchandising. We need all that. We should be getting all that money.
And we need to appeal to a new generation of people. We can't just be can't be the old, Bart Starr and all that. Like, it's got to be this young new generation of the 90s that were coming up. We got to steal them away from baseball and basketball. We got to get them to pay attention to football. We got to make it more exciting.
That's right.
And Fox was a brand new network at the time and struck a deal to get some games. Right? They didn't get all the games. They got
they got
all the NFL games.
Not all. They got what they have now. They had the NFC.
The NFC. So they get so they get this deal, and the way they cover it is totally different. The music, the graphics, the approach, like the whole energy around the way Fox was covering sports.
Well, they brought in former coach Jimmy, Terry Bradshaw, and I think Howie Long.
Yeah, and
they're still there.
Even getting Jimmy as part of that like talking head group is controversial.
Absolutely.
Because he was like still hot.
He's the hottest coach in the game.
And instead of him going to another team and coaching, he said, nah, I'm going to take this bag and sit down and talk shit about all of y'all.
Yep.
So that was a game changer at the time. People were like, what? Why isn't he coaching? Why doesn't he go to this team?
Think about it. Think of how many coaches now or former players now try to get into broadcasting.
Yeah.
Nobody was really doing that back then.
It used to be like Lynn Swan on NBC.
It was like Dan Dierdorf, Frank Gifford. Al Michaels, who's still around.
Yeah, Madden, right?
Yep,
Yeah, John
Madden.
But again, that was like the old legacy way. That's like your grandfather's.
Talk about bad business,
NFL.
John Madden, who didn't take the royalties for Madden football. See that? Yeah, I just killed the vibes. My bad.
Bozo move. But hey.
Took that check.
We all do what we got to do at the time.
Yep.
But anyway, this is a revolutionary deal. Changes the NFL. Changes the Cowboys, and guess who ushers this in? Jerry Jones. So he's coming in with swagger. All you bozos in this room that don't want to do nothing, just want to maintain the status quo, not listening to you guys no more.
Nope.
Hey, commissioner, whatever the fuck face, whatever the hell your name is, move out the way. Listen, here's the deal. I got us a network. He's my man. This is how we're going to do it. This is how he's going to cover it. These are some of the innovations he's going to introduce.
Right.
This is what we're doing.
But I would also say, look at some of the other leagues. You got the Lakers, the Yankees. They had powerful leadership with their owners as well. And they were revolutionary.
Yes.
They were revolutionary with their tactics as well.
But it comes to network.
But it was a global brand. All these are now global brands if you think about it.
But again, Jerry Jones was an oil guy. So what is an oil guy doing with a football team with a broadcast guy?
But it's business.
You gotta build a network around yourself of influential, powerful people, even in your job, outside of your job, because you never know, right? You might have influence outside of your job, and you might be able to bring another organization, another company, another opportunity to your org, and you're the man doing it. Ta-da!
All right, James. So before we end this, I know that it's going to be NFL Week 1, and let's talk about some leadership real quick, and we'll transition away from the Cowboys talk.
Okay.
So one of the quarterbacks for the Chicago Bears decided not to wear his socks and his uniform properly. And one of the analysts from ESPN or whichever network, Sam Aiko, did not like it.
Yeah, bozo stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's I don't think it's that serious a deal. And the quarterback it's Caleb Williams for the Bears. He's a newer quarterback, younger guy, comes in with different energy.
A little bit, but you also have to realize that you're like the CEO of the team essentially when you're in that role as a quarterback. You're the franchise. You're the face.
I wouldn't call it a CEO. Yeah, I would agree you're the face.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I don't think your socks being halfway is something that needs to become a think piece material.
Yeah, but it's just small things. They just, it's got to translate essentially.
So it goes to work, right? Mm-hmm. So like if you have a job that has a uniform, you work in retail, you work in fast food, whatever.
It's got to be presentable.
Mechanic, whatever, right? You work with a franchise that you have to wear a uniform, a branded uniform. You do have to adhere to the brand guidelines of the organization. If they say shirts got to be tucked in, shirts got to be tucked in.
But imagine if the manager's not tucking in their shirt or the quarterback's not pulling up their socks. What does that look like? Do I got to do it? Well, the main person's not doing it. That means I don't have to do it?
Now, but is that a lack of leadership? Because this guy said that.
I think so. You got to be the leader, man.
Okay.
I think it is a lack of leadership because, like, if you're too big to do the small things well, then you're too small to do the big things. Like, I don't know. That's just how I think.
Okay. So do you know, were the socks down because they just got disheveled while he was playing? Or did he came out the tunnel with us?
He's just wearing it the way that he wanted to, yeah.
Okay. So it wasn't like during play or anything like that.
No.
Okay. So maybe he was trying to make a fashion statement. Maybe he was just trying to like throw a little at somebody, like, I'm not pulling my sock. Like, you told me to pull my sock up, now I'm gonna wear it down, and just trying to, be antagonistic to somebody in the organization or to the league, right? Because I personally do think that
they bleed into other things though, those small things.
But look, like let's be honest, right? Like the whole thing about the cleats. Like they're so strict about the colorways and the things you put on your cleats, and now they're getting, and that there was a moment where they got really strict with celebrations.
Yeah,
I think you steal a little bit of the creativity and individuality of the players when you do that, because it's not like the NBA where you can see the player. They're in all this pads and helmet.
Yeah, they got a helmet head.
And that does something to their ego and their personality. You only know the jersey. You don't know the person.
Yeah, they call them by their numbers.
Yeah. So, like, when you put your cleats and you have, like, cleats with the Joker on them or some weird color, that's another thing to help them stand out amongst their peers.
Sure.
So, I'm not, like, I think that's a little extra. Like, as long as there's no, like, obscene gestures or offensive stuff, like, let them wear colorful cleats or whatever. Like, that's just, you know what I mean?
I hear you. I mean, I think they allow that now, like during like pre-games and usually on like some type of social media and things of that nature.
Why not in a game? Why we all gotta wear these white or black cleats during the game? Like, why can't I just
I'd prefer if they wear all whites if I was a receiver, because that's the color of the sideline. So if like you kind of step on it,
can't see it.
Can't see it.
Can't see it. I get that.
Got a little method to the madness.
Yeah, but again, I don't necessarily think this is a huge deal. But if you in an organization and you got a uniform, you got to adhere to the uniform, or you're going to open yourself up for criticism or getting written up, maybe even fired. If they tell you at Staples you got to have your shirt tucked in, just tuck your shirt in, bro. It's not worth it, because then you're going to stand out and you're going to look like the bozo. Right? They tell you, hey,
like, you look unprofessional.
Yeah, they tell you, wear white sneakers. I guess you got to wear white sneakers. If they tell you pull your socks all the way to your ankle or to your knee, guess what you got to do?
You just got to get it done.
How much?
You got to lead by example.
How much are you getting paid to?
He's getting paid a lot. I'd be pulling up my socks.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars or tens of millions of dollars, and somebody says you got to wear your socks to your ankle, I'm be like, even to sleep? Because I'll wear them to sleep like that if you want.
Like, I'm the main guy. Yeah. I'm the franchise. All I got to do is pull up my socks.
No problem, boss.
Yep.
But that's the problem, is I think some people want to be antagonistic, and they want to be like, I'm a leader, but I'm not going to lead the way you want me to lead.
You can't do that from that position, though. I think you could do it from other positions maybe and do those things, but not as the number one person. I don't think so.
And the first time he throws a pick with the socks down, they're gonna say it's because he has the socks down.
Yeah, he's got socks.
He's not paying attention to detail. He's not focused. You see, the socks are an indicator of a larger systemic problem.
Mm-hmm.
Pull your socks up, make your money, adhere to the guidelines, and ball out, bro. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, I think we did it. I enjoyed it. I highly recommend it to all of you out there who are super interested into content that has like these power dynamics. You get some nostalgia from the 80s and 90s. I think it was a good watch. It's like 8 episodes, some shit like
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Binge it with your girl, get some, some snacks, some Uber Eats, sit there and pig out on it. It's interesting. Your girl might not, maybe get all into it. But if she's into like drama.
Well, you know what? Since Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are engaged, just tell her that they're at the end.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah. There you go.
And just be like, hey, Taylor Swift watched this.
Yeah.
She recommended this.
She recommended it because she's marrying an NFL football player.
Man.
Yeah. See that?
She gonna sit there, lock in, and she gonna be telling you, like, did you know that Deion Sanders,
And now he's got all these sons that are playing football now.
Did you hear what happened to his his other son?
Yeah.
His son got cut from the team because he slapped the. She's gonna get all into it.
Yep.
Just tell her Taylor Swift likes it. All right, guys. Like, subscribe, argue with us, comment, engage. We love y'all. We hate y'all. You know what it is.
Yeah. See you next time.